Assalamualaikum to Dr. Cynthia and my fellow classmates. Thank you for joining us in today's session. So today, me and my partner, who is Cikgu Amy, we will be presenting on the professional development framework for secondary schools, specifically designed for secondary schools. Now, the focus will be on three crucial areas. One would be to improve student attendance and strengthening the 21st century pedagogy, which is PAK 21, which will be covered by Cikgu Amy later on. And the third one is to enhance students' emotional well being. All right. So, yeah, it will be presented by me and again, Cikgu Amy. So, without further ado, let me just introduce the professional development framework. Let me just dive right in. Now, professional development, or for the purpose of today's presentation, let's just go and call it PD. Professional development is essential for maintaining a high quality teaching in schools. Now, this supports the ongoing growth of our educators, and it helps us to respond to the evolving demands of the 21st century. Now, PD has to be again strategic, context sensitive, and also it has to be student centered. Most importantly, student centered. All right. So again, all right. The objectives of PD, the framework has to have three core objectives. One is to address student absenteeism through proactive, relational, and data informed strategies. Number two is to strengthen PAK 21 pedagogy by equipping teachers with practical student-centered methods. And of course, number three is to support the emotional well-being by embedding a culture of psychological safety and empathy across all schools across the board. Yeah. So all efforts are grounded in innovation, leadership, assessment, and continuous improvement. Next. So before we start with developing the framework, first we have to analyze the needs. And this is done through informal interviews with teachers, counselors, and admin staff. All right. So the schools that are involved serves around most probably 1,000 students, giving us a comprehensive picture of the day-to-day challenges faced by the educators. All right. All right. So after the needs analysis, we found out that 20 to 30% students experience chronic absenteeism, which means that they are regularly absent from school. Okay, so PAK 21 strategies are inconsistently implemented, and there's a rise in emotional distress, especially after the COVID pandemic, which means that these challenges, after COVID, was also reflected in the national level data from the Ministry of Education in 2019. Okay, right. So the focus area one would be on student attendance. Okay, so student attendance, regular attendance is closely linked to students' achievements, engagement, and overall development, which means that once the student is absent, it reflects other deeper issues, which would be disengagement, maybe family problems, or even mental health concerns. Okay, this is why we need a rational, proactive approach, and it's not just enforcement. So we need to, deep dive, deep deep into into the whole program to understand why students are absent from schools. Okay, so the goal for us, that we want to achieve is to build early intervention and capacity among teachers, which means that if there are students who are chronically absent, we teach the teachers to be trained in early warning systems, and we of course use the trauma informed practice and apply ecological systems theory to understand the context of these absent students. Yeah. So pedagogical innovation and leadership when it comes to attendance is, of course, we will use the kehadiran. It's a real-time attendance tracking app with analytics and early alerts. Now, SMS alerts as well. An automated system will strengthen homeschool communication. The parents and teachers would have to communicate for them to understand why the children or the students are absent. So middle leaders will act as the attendance champion, coordinating efforts across teams, teachers, schools, parents, communities, so on. This is all supported by the change leadership model by Fullen, which emphasizes sustainability through shared leadership. Yeah. Okay, so moving on. When it comes to evaluation and feedback, what we will do is we will track the attendance before and after the implementation, which is pre and post attendance data tracking. And we will also gather feedback from teachers, parents, from the surveys, and on engagements to see how um, uh, the implementation is like. And a follow up will be done after 3 months, and the evaluation model would follow the professional development framework from GASKI. All right, and then we will see how this works. I will pass the next presentation, sorry, the next slide onwards to Cikgu Amy. Thank you.
Hi, I am Zulhilmy. I will continue presenting other crucial area in a professional development framework specifically designed for secondary schools. The focus area 2 is PAC 21 implementation. PAC 21 rationale. Uh, What is PAC 21? PAC 21 is a student centered approach aligned with 21st century learning needs. PAC 21 emphasize the four C elements that is communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. PAC 21 is important in current education context because it prepares students for future workforce demands and encourage lifelong learning, adaptability, and digital literacy. While it's part of the national framework, its classroom implementation is still inconsistent. Teachers often lack practical, ready to use strategies. So the professional development PD plan for PAC 21, in line with PAC 21 and theoretical grounding, comes from Vygotsky, constructivism, and Brookfield, critical reflection. Teachers' role as facilitators, not just information providers. Teachers' role also sees as continuous professional development to upgrade pedagogical and digital skill. The PD aims to help teachers design and deliver student-centered lessons. The professional development program will offer a series of hands-on workshops designed to immerse educators in active, student-centered pedagogical methods. These workshops will cover strategies such as think, pair, share, gallery walks, project based learning, and escape room activities. each selected for its potential to promote collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, and communication, all components of Park 21. Teachers will also engage in micro teaching, peer review, and reflective writing. Uh, Pedagogical innovation and leadership. Pedagogical innovation emphasizes the need for continuous innovation in teaching to meet diverse student needs. It focuses on making teaching more engaging, inclusive, and relevant to 21st century learners. Teachers will be introduced to use of low cost accessible digital tools like Padlet, Jamboard, and Canva to support interactive learning. The try, adapt, share model will guide teachers through safe experimentation and peer learning. In try, adapt, share models, for try, teachers will pilot tools in their own classroom. For adapt, teachers will reflect and adjust based on student response and context, and share. The teachers will exchange strategies and experiences with peers in PLCs or during PD sessions. PLC stands for Professional Learning Communities, will be formed with rational leadership to encourage collaboration and shared responsibility. It also helps building confidence and reducing tech anxiety. Teachers can start small and build digital competency in a supportive environment. Peer sharing reduce isolation and promotes collaborative learning among educators. Evaluation and feedback for PAP 21. Uh, The evaluation and feedback for Part 21, teachers will be assessed using a Part 21 rubric. We'll also gather student feedback to evaluate classroom experience. Reflective journals will be used to document growth. Evaluation draws from SCON's reflective practitioner models. The next focus area three is student emotional well-being. For emotional support rationale, uh, there's a growing concern about student emotional health, especially post-pandemic. The post-pandemic era has seen as notable increase in anxiety, depression, and stress among students. Social isolation, learning loss, and family pressures during lockdowns have left lasting emotional effects. Schools are now not only academic spaces but also critical environments for emotional and psychological support. Teachers often spend the most time with students and are usually the first to notice changes in mood, behavior, or engagement. Teachers are often the first to notice signs but lack training to intervene. Despite being in a good position to identify issues, many teachers lack basic mental health literacy or the confidence to address the concerns. There is a need professional development focus on emotional intelligence, trauma-informed approaches, and early interventions technique. A preventive classroom-based approach is needed, Waiting for students to reach crisis points is reactive and insufficient. Building teachers' capacity in emotional support is part of a holistic professional development strategy. So, the PD plan for well-being, uh, the primary aim for this professional development PD component is to build teacher capacity in mental health literacy, enabling them to confidently identify, understand, and support student well-being in everyday classroom settings. The PD includes recognizing signs of stress, trauma, or anxiety. Teachers will learn to observe behavioral and emotional cues that may signal underlying issues such as trauma, anxiety, or chronic stress. This includes withdrawal, irritability, sudden changes in performance, or absenteeism. Early recognition is key to timely and appropriate intervention. PD will equip teachers with simple yet impactful classroom strategies such as reflective journaling, storytelling sessions, and dialogue circles. These methods will help students express emotions, process experience, and build their resilience while strengthening teacher-student relationships. This plan is also grounded in humanistic learning theory, particularly the work of Carl Rogers, which emphasize empathy, respect, and emotional safety as the foundation of effective learning. When teachers model empathy and create emotionally supportive environments, students are more likely to engage, learn, and thrive. So the next slide is innovative practice and leadership. So the teachers will implement mood check-ins. Teacher will begin lessons with quick emotional check-ins using simple tools like emojis, traffic light cards, or digital polls. This encourage students to express their feeling safely and will help teachers identify those who may need the extra support. Okay, well-being concerns in classrooms. Classroom will be equipped with a dedicated the well-being corner, a small, quiet space with calming items like stress balls, affirmations, reflection cards, where students can self-regulate when overwhelmed. Self-guided resilience modules for students. Students will access digital or printed modules focus on building emotional resilience, positive thinking, and coping strategies. This can be used independently or as part as guided sessions. Counselor, these are part of the counselor. Counselor will co-lead the PD, and heads of departments will coach teachers on embedding well-being practices into lessons, offering input on emotional development, on mental health strategies that are age appropriate and trauma informed. So for the evaluation and feedback, we will use the WHO 5 Wellbeing Index to assess students' emotional states. WHO5 is a short, validated tool to measure emotional and physiological psychological well-being. It includes five simple statements, such as I quote just a five, such as I have felt cheerful and in good spirits, which students rate weekly or bi-weekly. This tool can provide quantitative data to track overall emotional health and evaluate whether the PD is making a difference. The teacher participating in the PD will maintain personal reflective journals throughout the implementation phase. These journals will capture real classroom experiences, emotional response, and observations of student behavior. Regular debrief sessions will help us refine and improve strategies collaboratively. So the next, for the implementation timeline, the implementation spans for 10 months, broken into five phases. So the first phases is preparation for the activities, stakeholder briefings, and baseline data. Then the second phase is capacity building, which is we use the workshops and tech training. And then in application, real classroom implementation and coaching. For monitoring and evaluation, we use the data collection and review. And the final for the implementation timeline is reflection and scale up. In this phase, we use the final reporting and embedding into school practice. So, for the ethical considerations, uh, we also consider the ethical for gather the data. All student data will be anonymized and protected. Parental consent is required, especially for digital tracking and well-being assessment. The PD will also include training on confidentiality, empathy, and responsible digital practice. As the conclusion, uh, the professional development PD should not be viewed as a one-off training session or compliance requirement. It is a strategic level or systematic transformation, equipping teachers to meet the evolving needs of students, schools, and society. When PD is continuous, context specific, and grounded in theory, it leads to sustainable change in teaching practice, school culture, and student outcomes. This framework addresses real challenges, which is the absenteeism, pedagogical gaps, and emotional health. By targeting these three areas, the framework offers a holistic and relevant response to what educators truly need. With the right tools, leadership, and mindset, we can create inclusive, future ready schools. The framework promotes not only better instruction, but also equity, empathy, and innovation. Ultimately, It supports the vision of schools as communities that nurture resilient, capable, and future ready learners. That's all from us. Thank you.